Hello and welcome back to another tutorial. Well, this is going to be the first episode in my how-to series, which is basically me expressing my deep cynicism for all things academic in the United States. So this first episode is going to be about how to win debates, and I realize this has nothing to do with the background video, but whatever, I do not want to actually make any competent background footage. Anyhow, for my debates, I'm doing the MSPDP format, which is 3v3 parliamentary, except you have time beforehand to prepare. So let's have like a four-step strategy. All right. So our first step is to research, of course. So once you get your motion, the first thing you need to do is use pro-con. Now pro-con is like Wikipedia, but better, right? And teachers don't know about it, so they don't care. Which is why I always use pro-con. They give you everything. Now, in the rare cases that pro-con doesn't give you all of your information, like in really, really random motions, you need to use Google. Obviously, you know how to do that. Good job. Now, more importantly is how do you divide work between your three speakers? Well, here's how you should do it. So the first speaker does assertions, impacts, and some refutations if they're very diligent. The second speaker does assertions and refs, and the third speaker does assertions, refs, and weighing. However, in reality, it's more like the first speaker does some kind of bad assertions, uh, and maybe nothing at all. Depending on the team, the second speaker might do stuff, they might not, and the third speaker does all of it. Reminds me of group projects. That's PTSD right there, I'm not gonna lie. And now for the actual research, uh, because a lot of it is based off of case splitting and you need assertions. You can't just have a computer make assertions for you, right? And here's my assertions that you can pretty much use for every motion. I call them universal assertions. So number one, coming at the top is discrimination, okay? This applies for everything. Everything is discriminatory. The world is discriminatory. Debate itself is discriminatory, okay? Racially, socioeconomically, sexism, everything. It's all discriminatory. Next, the economy. Everything either harms the economy or benefits the economy. There's no in between. It's either good or bad. Health and life skills, all pretty good ones that sometimes apply, or mostly apply. And also, there is one really good new one, which is technology is evil. Cue Amish. Cue Amish music, please. Now, you're at your tournament. This is your first tournament because you are a newbie 7th grader, and they've just announced the motion. Now everyone's screaming around, running around with their heads off. So what do? So you grab your paper, you sprint over, and you hope that you brought a clipboard or that there's like a nice spot, or else you're gonna have a lot of fun writing your case on top of the sharp, jaggy OIS stairs. So how do you copy your notes? So the first speaker starts copying down the first assertion and goes up from there. The second speaker starts from assertion 3 and goes down, and the third speaker does refs and weighing and helps with impacts from the case. However, in reality, it's really more like the first speaker gets through half of the first assertion, the second speaker does all the assertions, and the third speaker does refutations, weighing, and does a lot of the impact case. What happens is that the second speaker ends up writing way too fast, which means the first speaker cannot read what the second speaker is writing. What that means is that the first speaker can only get through a tiny bit of the case, leaving the rest of the case to the second speaker. As such, the second speaker leaves the job of refuting all to the third speaker, despite the third speaker saying that the second speaker should refute a lot. As such, the third speaker gets done with all the refutations and ends up refuting for 4 minutes straight, leaving absolutely no time with weighing, and therefore they lose the debate because there's a lack of weighing, as the judge will very nicely indicate to you. Now that you have all of your preparations ready, it is time for the actual debate. Now you might be nervous, but don't worry, all the other schools suck. Okay, so let's split up the strategies by proposition and opposition. So for proposition, the first speaker does two assertions, the second speaker does a third assertion and refutes, and the third speaker refutes and weighs. Pretty simple, right? That prop is actually a really nice site to have because it's very solid, it's very doable, it's very simple, it's all concrete and follows a very good flow. On the opposition, I like it very much too because it's very fun and interesting. It's a very good strategy. So what you do is the first, you take advantage of the opposition block, which is where the opposition second speaker and third speaker all go together in a long 10-minute speech. What happens is that you have your first speaker preemptively refute and weigh. Your second speaker gets to say all of the assertions. And while prop should only have 3 assertions, I would say op should have about 50. Oh, sorry, not 50, 45. Clear. 50 is way too much. 45 assertions for op that your second speaker gets to say, and the third speaker adds on to all of those assertions. What you need to do here is point out that the proposition refutes too little, too late, and therefore you win the case on overwhelming them with your case. And some general tips for you. So if you spin pens with both of your hands, you get plus 0.25 points. This is proven to be effective. Um, some judges like you to modulate your voice and be expressive. So what I recommend you do is get onto the podium and jump up and down while shouting at the top of your lungs. This generally works, except when the debate is at JM and they're using the shitty music stands from the music program that has 12 cents of funding in total. So, now that you've finished your debate, you should be proud. Good job on your first debate. So, there's 2 outcomes, right? Number 1, if you won, good job, yay, time to eat pizza during lunch and brag to all of your friends about how you got a 74 on your first debate. If you lost, you need to ask yourself this one question. Did you follow the brilliant tutorial that Michael Land gave you? So if the answer is no, then you should punch yourself in the face and actually follow the steps next time, because the steps are proven to work. However, if the answer is yes, you did follow the steps, then here's what you should do. Make an extremely cynical YouTube channel and thoroughly compile all the ways debate is stupid, because it definitely wasn't your fault that you lost. It was obviously the system being rigged. Thank you.